Hi everybody, I'm Stefan for ATutsPlus.com, and in today's tutorial we are going to create this cool looking 3D product box in After Effects using only built-in tools. So let's take a look at the preview. So as you can see, we have a couple of different camera angles, as well as some nice shadows and depth of field. So without losing more time, let's get started with the tutorial. Let's delete this preview. And I already imported some of the assets that we are going to use in the tutorial. So let's create a new composition and let's call it front, because that is going to be the front side of our product box. And let's choose a size and click OK. So this is the front of our product box. And now let's create the left side and let's make it 200 by 800 and hit OK. And let's create the top part, which will be 600 by 200 pixels, and hit OK. So let's open the front and create our background. Doesn't matter what color, because we are going to apply a ramp effect anyway. So let's select the start color and make it a bit of almost white, and take the bottom color and just make it a bit off white, so it's not 100% white. And this will be the background for our front, back, left and right sides. So let's copy this layer and paste it here and here. Actually, not the top one. And let's create another solid for the top and call it background. And actually, for the top color I'm going to copy and paste the color. It's kind of this color. I took the color from the ATutsPlus homepage, and I tried to create the design of the product box to be similar with the design of the website. So that's it. Let's duplicate the top and let's call it bottom, and let's take the front and just put a title and type front, make it black so we can see it, make it a bit bigger like so, and let's duplicate the front and let's call it back. Open it and change the title to back, and copy this title, open the left one and let's call it left, and duplicate it again and let's call this one right, and open it and rename it right. OK, open the top one and let's type top, and copy this title, open the bottom one and paste it. Come on, let's paste it. That's right, and call it bottom. And we do that in order to be easier for us to put together the box. So let's take all these compositions and put it in new folder, pre-comps, and let's create another scene 1 composition, and we are going to use the 1280 by 720 preset and hit OK. So let's import the front, make it a 3D layer, and let's set the anchor point to 300 pixels and choose a custom view. This way, actually 150 I think, or 100 maybe. This way, if I duplicate this layer, Ctrl D, and rotate it, it will be 200 pixels behind the front layer. So I can take my back layer, hold down Alt and put it here, and as you can see, this is my back and this is my front. Let's take the left and make it a 3D layer, and let's see if we set the anchor point to 400 or actually 200 and rotate it, or maybe 300. Yes, 300, because it's 600 pixels in width, so we need to set the anchor point to be, so we need to set the layer to be 300 pixels away from the anchor point, so the anchor point always stays in the center. And let's duplicate this one and just rotate it, and again hold down Alt and replace it. So we have our front, right, back and left parts. Now let's import our top element. Let's set the anchor point to be 400 pixels, the layer to be away from the anchor point, and let's rotate it, duplicate, oops, let's duplicate it and again rotate it and replace it with our bottom. And the bottom part of the product box will never show up in this tutorial, so it doesn't matter, but to be sure I just put a color there. So as you can see, we can start the fun part and start to designing our product box. For this purpose, come to the front, let's delete the title and let's create a new solid and let's call it top wine big, doesn't matter what color. Hit Ctrl R to bring the rowers and let's measure 200 pixels. This will be our top wine, and let's measure 45 pixels for the small top wine, because we are going to create another one that will be smaller. And let's measure a 60 pixels for the bottom wine, so around here I think it's okay. And we are ready with that, so let's just put another guide in the center so we know exactly where is the center of our product box. And now let's take the mask tool and mask out the top part so it's bigger, and let's duplicate this layer and rename it to top wine small, and just put the mask right there. And to the big one, let's apply a ramp effect. And let's see, I don't remember the exact course, so I'm going to copy and paste the course I used in the preview, but that doesn't matter because you're going to create your own product box that will be way better than mine. So let's put the endpoint somewhere around here and put the start point right on top of the product box, so we have a nice gradient going on here. And let's duplicate the top small line and let's call it bottom line. And let's take the mask and move it right here, and it should snap to the guides. And basically that's it for the most part. Let's duplicate those layers, Ctrl C, delete this title, Ctrl V, and just make sure that the top line small is on top of the top line big, and for the back side same thing, and for the right side again. Let's copy this and paste here, and looking good. Don't forget to save. And let's come to the front part and start typing our text. For example, let's say let's make the text smaller, 30 pixels maybe, and let's say your favorite tutorials now available on Blu-ray, of course, and probably too big, 25 pixels, and let's choose the right font, which was, yeah, that's right, this one, and probably make the small letters to be a capital using this switch, and maybe set the size to 28 or actually 26, and center this right here. And now let's play a bit with the layer styles. Come to layer styles, and choose gradient overlay. Come to the gradient overlay, edit gradient, and for the top part we are going to use a almost white, just a bit of white color, and for the bottom part we are going to use a grayish color, just something like that. And for the gradient type, I think this is okay. Just we can reverse it, of course, like so, and you can use any kind of gradient. For this you can use a ramp if it's easier for you. Now let's come to the perspective and choose bevel alpha, of course, and let's increase it, but Actually this one doesn't work for some reason, and I guess because I applied a layer style which applies after the effects that are on top of the layer. So we have to do it with the layer styles and apply this effect, bevel and emboss, and let's set it to size to 1 maybe, and set the color, let's see. Actually delete the layer styles because it's not such a flexible way to control this type of effects. So let's apply a nice ramp effect like so, and just tweak the colors. That's right. And probably you can choose a radial ramp or anything you want. So I think this is okay, and let's apply a bevel alpha and set this to 1 and 0.5 for example, which is fine. 0.8, something like that. And now let's type another title, tutorial pack, and let's make the pack word bigger. 48 looks cool, and bring them together. And now we can scale this one up 165, looks okay to me. And now just copy and paste those effects like so, and we can change this to radial ramp this time, just to get a bit of different effect. And now we can apply a drop shadow because we have a whiter background here, and a drop shadow will make the text look cool and not so flat. And now let's bring the A-Tuts Plus logo in our design. So let's scale it down around 25% or maybe 22. Yeah, I think 22 looks cool. And let's put it here. And now let's type another title over 300 tutorials, and let's center this one here. And now we are going to use the layer styles for this one. Just use a gradient overlay and a inner shadow, as well as a regular drop shadow. And for this one we are going to use a bit darker colors for the gradient, for example something like that. Oops, I forgot the second one. And something like that, just a slight variation in the core, and of course reverse it. And for the drop shadow, let's change the blending mode to normal, set the color to white, and set the distance to 1 and the size to 1. And for the inner shadow, let's set the distance to 3 and the size to 2, or maybe size 3, distance 2, something like that. I think it looks okay, and maybe play with the gradient color and darken it a bit so the title can stand out better, because the colors are too similar to the background, something like that. And now let's collapse this and bring up our screenshots of the tutorials. So let's set a guide probably right here, like so, and set the first one, set the size to 50%, maybe 48 or 45, and just place them. Again 45, and move it here, and let's see, this one, this one, and this one, and set them to 45%, and set this one here, and of course this one here. And let's move this to the left and this to the right, and I'm not going to waste your time with placing those images, probably like so. And let's duplicate the top title and move it down and say including all premium tutorials, and decrease the size probably. Let's see, and type now actually including all premium tutorials is okay. Just let's decrease the size a bit, like so, duplicate it, move it, and let's say now available offline on Blu-ray. And let's duplicate it again and type get it now and put it in the center, like so. And let's select the top title, duplicate it, and move it to the bottom of the product box, and let's type 5 discs in a comfortable pack, and probably increase the size to 35, I guess. And let's put the Blu-ray logo right here, decrease the size, and the text maybe 33 because it's a bit bigger, and this one to 12 or maybe 10. 12 was fine, and let's move it like so, and just copy the ramp and the bevel alpha and paste them to the logo, and just set the ramp start and end points, and set this to 4 or maybe more, because if you set it to 1 you aren't going to see the effect going on, because the original image is pretty large and I scale it down to 12%, so we need to increase this to maybe 15 so we can see a bit of a difference. And finally, let's create a shape layer, something like that. And let's see, by holding down Control I can manipulate the size and shape of this star thing. So I think this is okay. Let's leave it like that. Hold down Alt and click here to disable the stroke, and let's choose a circular gradient, and let's choose the colors. For the end color I want a dark reddish orange color, and for the start color I want something like that, maybe something like that is okay. And let's scale this down to 80% or maybe 90, and let's see if we add a drop shadow and soften it and make it stronger, like so. And now let's just type $49 and 95 cents, and we are almost ready to go. And let's apply a dark gradient this time. So for the top part we want something like that, and for the bottom we want almost black. And again apply a bevel alpha and set this to 1, and the white intensity to 0.8 or 0.6. And now let's see if we duplicate the shape layer and remove the drop shadow effect, and now we can create another layer that will be our highlight, and we are going to use the shape as a alpha matte for the highlight, and apply a generate ramp effect, and let's choose something like that, and just use the circular mask tool to create a nice round shape. And let's change the blending mode to screen maybe, or add, because it has a better blending this way, and just bring the opacity to 25% or 35 maybe, depending on your taste. And let's rotate this like so, for example. It's up to you. And let's increase the size of this text to 45 or 40%, so it looks a bit bigger. And with this we are ready with our first side of the product box. Let's save, and let's move on to the left side, where everything is easier because we have the base. So now let's take this title, just copy and paste it here, and let's see, move it to the top, like so, and just select everything except the 5 disks and delete it, and increase the size to 40% or 45, so it's nice and big. And come to the front and duplicate the, let's see, the Blu-ray logo and the 8-Post logo, and just paste them right here. And for the 8-Post logo, I think it should be on the bottom part of this, so let's increase this to not 45, 25%. 22 is okay, and let's set this to 4 or 8. 8 is okay. Bring the rulers and the safe area to find the center, so we can center our logo and title. And take the 8-Post logo and bottom line. Let's see, where is our bottom line? Oh, here it is. Bottom line. Let's reset the position and take the 8-Post logo and scale it down to 18 or 15%, and it snaps, so it's okay. And let's say we can take some images. For example, let's take this one and scale it down to 85% or maybe 80, and take this one and set this to 80, and this one and set this to 80, and move them. Actually, let's set them to 70%, so we can move them around, and bring the 8-Post logo like so. And now just copy everything and paste it to the right side, and you can change the pictures, but I'm going to leave them like so. And come to our scene and see how our box is starting to look. Pretty good, I think. Let's come to the top part and delete the title, and come to the back and start designing the back. And let's bring up the 8-Post logo and just scale it down a bit and put it right here. Come to the front and just copy some titles, oops, like so. And let's see if we copy this text and paste it here, and now we can change it to the best online free training, and reduce the size to 40, 45%, 42%, yes. Bring the title safe area. Let's find the center this title, and now let's just duplicate it and type again now available on Blu-ray, and we can, let's see, we can increase the size just a bit and move it like so, and duplicate this one again and type enjoy your your favorite tutorials. And let's duplicate it and type now offline, which doesn't make any sense, but let's increase the size even more and duplicate it and type get it now, like right now, and put it right here, and a picture of a barcode that you can generate in After Effects, but for the sake of this tutorial I'm going to save you this pane and set the barcode here. Come to the front and let's copy this logo and titles and put them right here, and come to the front and take the shape layer with all the stuff, copy and paste them right here. Just put the price on top of everything and like so, and let's see, yeah, that's okay. And we are ready with the design of our product box, I guess. So let's come to the first scene and see how it looks. I think it looks pretty cool, if you ask me. And let's create a new object, make it a 3D layer, and link all of the elements to the new, and it's in the center of the product box, so we can rotate the box and make whatever we want. So with this, I think we are finished with the first part of this tutorial. Hope you like it, and in the second part of the tutorial we are going to create a very simple environment, a cool and smart whitening rig for this product box, and of course we are going to animate some different camera angles and stuff like that, and hopefully we're going to make it look cool with some depth of field and nice and soft looking shadows. So once again, I'm Stefan for ATUTPlus, and we'll see you next time.